Good morning, everybody. Well, afternoon, child. It's 2 in the afternoon. Here I am. And let me do this. This is going to be unusual because last night's episode was unusual. I'm going to tell you something. For those of you that don't know me, I'm very susceptible to energies. I can feel, baby, you don't have to slow down. All right now. I can feel energies. I can read energies. It's that Louisiana thing. It's my great-grandmama, Louisiana. Her family, everybody. Is that a crust? You know, I get a little dry skin right there. I tries to keep it greased, but I don't want to look all shiny around. You know when folks got lip gloss and it's like extra shiny, all that? I try not to do all that on the camera. I do it in real life because I'm just country. But anyway, back to this. Okay, so I'm able to read and feel energies. So this video may not be for everybody because I found that with the audience that comes with the Queen's Court, with the audience that comes with Khia in particular, be they lovers or haters of Khia, the audience that follows her is very loud, boisterous, and they want you to know they're right. And that's fine. You know me, I don't have a problem with you voicing your opinion in the comments, whatever. You may say, you know, we love Khia. You may say we hate Khia, but you will say it respectfully unto me. You're not going to drag me and expect me just to sit there and be dragged. So you can say whatever you want to under these comments. That's fine, as long as it's respectful towards me. And we're not going to do a lot of tranny talk. We're not going to do a lot of that because I keep seeing the more I post about the Queen's Court, the more I get, well, why is Madison posting and talking about women when she wants to be a woman? That means you subscribe to the thought process that Madison is not a woman, and I don't subscribe to that same thought process, so I'm not going to be able to have a conducive conversation with you. I'm of the thought process that if Madison says she is a woman, I agree with Madison that she's a woman. I'm not going to tell nobody they're not a woman because I don't know. That's not me. So we're not going to do a lot of that. Now let's get into the show. Last night, I worked all day. Yesterday was a mess. My energies just within myself were off because I'm working with a coworker that I really want to curse out, but I don't want to drag anybody else into the foolishness. She said something to one of my good friends about me, and I'm trying to figure out, do I want to address her and bring my friend into it or not? Because honestly, she and my friend just met, and I don't really want to cause any dissension between them two. But she said something to my friend about me that's blatant falsehoods and just a mess. But we're not going to talk about her on this one. So my energies were a mess. I had to stay late because she's trifling and can't deal with nothing by herself. And so I had to go to the store, pick up a couple items and this and the other. I got home later than I had planned to. 5 o'clock, 5:30, somewhere in there. And I ate dinner. You know, I laid around for a little while. About 7:30, I said, well, let me go to bed. Let me go to bed because I don't feel good. My spirit don't feel right to watch the Queen's Court. And I'm the type of person that if I don't feel it, my energies aren't, I sound like Lauryn Hill, and if my chakras are aligned, I'm not coming. And my chakras were very off. And I said, I'm not going to be able to enjoy the Queen's Court, watch the Queen's Court, and report on it tomorrow if I watch it tonight in the mindset and the spirit that I'm in right now. So I went on to sleep, to be honest. 7:30, I went to sleep. And I said, I'll just watch it tomorrow. I don't have to be at work till about 3 in the after evening, girl. I don't know what this new scheduling is, but I ain't have to be at work today until 3. So I said, I'll just watch it and then I'll, do my video on the way like I always do. I woke up and it was foolishness. Just pure foolishness. Everybody everywhere was like, girl, the Queen's Court was just a raggedy mess. And I was like, well, how raggedy of a mess could it have been? Until I went over to T.S. Madison Hinton's Facebook page and clicked the first of the 2 live videos. And I watched the full 15 minutes of the first part, and it was skipping. It was out of sync. The lighting was very harsh. It wasn't good. And I watched because I'm the type of person that it's like, okay, maybe it'll turn around, maybe it'll get better. Let me watch for myself and find out. Watch the whole 15 minutes. It was a mess. Then it went off. I went and clicked the next video. It was her Madison trying to do the live. In the middle of the 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes, Khia got up, she walked away. I'm like, okay, well, Khia, from what I can understand, what I can see on Khia, is she is a lot like myself in that if the energies ain't together, she's off as well. So we come back, we see Madison interviewing or trying to interview Monique. Khia's still not there. And I'm like, well, what is this? What is going on? My friend Jana, sorry, it's two of them. It's Jada and Jana. Jana wrote, commented on, because I said, girl, I've missed it last night, but I heard it was a miss. She said, go over to Monique's Periscope, skip to about 20 minutes in, you'll see what's going on. So I went to Monique's Periscope. I skipped to 19 minutes, 53 seconds. And I said, well, let's see. I watched Monique do her gracious act. As much as I love Monique, y'all know that is my auntie. Monique is not genuine anymore. I watched her put on an act of graciousness. I listened to Madison doing her best and Khia acting a mess. And I'm like, what is going on? So let me go ahead. Let me start by addressing, who should I address? I'm going to go from longevity to leastjevity. And I don't like to say leastjevity because they all matter. But girl, longevity-wise, let's start with Monique. Monique was sitting there, and again, y'all, I can read energies. And I know that Monique is in there. That's what's frustrating for me. I know that Monique is in there, but Sydney is sitting on top. So I watched the Monique that has been greatly affected by Sydney record on Periscope this moment, this personal moment between these women and give off this act of graciousness. And I say this because you can hear in the background Khia saying, it's not right, I'm not finna get on camera while y'all recording and this is messed up, that kind of thing. And Madison is saying, well, we're not recording. But Monique was recording. As somebody who is a genuine person, I would have said, well, listen, I'm on Periscope right now. But because Monique kept saying, well, I just want to have a conversation with Khia. Bring Khia, let her sit in front of this computer. Let's have a face-to-face conversation. I just want to have a conversation with Khia. If Monique had been genuine about it, I would have said, when Khia said, well, y'all recording, blah, 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 and Madison said, well, I'm not recording. I would have said, well, I am on Periscope right now, but I want to have a conversation with you, Khia. And if you're uncomfortable having this conversation while I'm recording, I will pause the Periscope and I'll resume it whenever you're ready. But I want to have a conversation with you. I want to talk to you as a sister. I want to talk to you as a woman. I want to talk to you face to face. And I will turn off the Periscope. You can check for yourself. You can pull it up for yourself and see that it's stopped. And I'll resume when you are comfortable. As somebody who's genuine, that's what I would have said. Which is why I say Monique was putting on an act of graciousness. She wasn't actually gracious. She wasn't actually trying to have a one-on-one conversation where we can heal, we can meet, we can mend, and we can, figure out how to move. She don't be trying to do that. She wants to put people on blast, and she wants to let y'all see that she is gracious and genuine and this and that. And I don't have time for that. I know Monique is in there. I know she's in there. I can feel that she's in there, but I also can feel that Sydney is sitting on top of Monique, causing this foolishness. And I don't have time. Moving on. Khia. I see a little bit of what the issue is. Khia was fine until we got to the escape thing. Once we got to the escape situation, Khia's attitude did kind of turn and this and that. And I haven't spoken on it because it was like, okay, Khia was a little bit quieter today, but I thought she was letting Madison take the lead. And, they said, well, she wasn't feeling well. She confirmed. Because I've stopped watching the after shows. Because, girl, I don't care about the girls' phone calls. I don't care about y'all calling in. I don't. But it's like, okay, she said she confirmed in the after show that she wasn't feeling well, this and the other. And I'm like, okay, let me let her have her slack. Let me let her. But Khia has been off since the escape thing. She's been off since they tried to get this new set and, this new... whatever they're trying to do, new cut, new color, MC Deborah. It just has been off. And I've been like, okay, well, they want to, present it to us a certain way. The theme is Queen's Court. They want to give us a court setup. And again, I told y'all I'm the stenographer. I said that to y'all. I let y'all know in advance because I'm not new. I'm not new to none of these girls. I'm not new to these broadcasts. I know it really got popping in the beginning of the year, the end of last year. But I'm not new to this. I've been watching T.S. Madison since the day her new weave 22 inches video, Vine, the day that came out, my best friend sent that video to me as a gag. She was like, here, click this. And, Madison popped up and I was intrigued. I was like, okay, well, let's see what she's about. Because I could see then that she was funny and that she had a genuine spirit, swinging her penis and all. I was like, okay, well, let's see, what she's about. And I clicked her Vine, and I followed her Vine. Until Vine, I stopped going on Vine because it really got boring. But I followed her Vine. Then I followed her over to Facebook, and I'm watching her lives. I had been following her on YouTube since I found her on Vine. And I just loved her. I loved Madison. Always have. As far as Khia, I've already told y'all. I remember the first time that I saw Khia. I was 6 years old, pumping it down in Times Square, walking past MTV Studios, and there she was with that turban wrapped around her head, sitting in that lawn chair talking about her neck and her back. And I was like, well, I identify. I don't know what this is about, but I identify. I had no idea what that song was about. But honestly, watching her in Times Square on the MTV screens right next door to the Nickelodeon studio, 6-year-old me was like, well, she must be important. Let me live for her. And I did, and I have. But Khia, girl, you've been off. You've been off. It's been disjointed. And I understand that people's visions are different. But it feels to me like Khia, she was more comfortable being in the living room, drinking and talking and just doing regular Khia things. And now it feels like, there's a push for them to maybe be on television. So Khia had to kind of scale back slightly and censor herself a little bit to show people that she can be on TV when maybe that's not genuinely what she wants. Maybe that's not, where she's at with it. So I feel like, there's a bit of a divide with what the girls want. I feel like, I know Madison wants to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And she has that potential. They both have the potential, but I don't think that's what Khia wants. I think Khia has seen the industry from a different light. Or maybe she just took it a different way. And it's like, girl, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm just over it. I just want to sit in the living room with my girl, drink and talk and laugh. Whereas Maddie is like, okay, well, I did, sitting and drinking and talking and laughing for a long time. Now I'm ready to do, be on TV and this, that, and the other. It just feels like they're kind of on opposing sides. And I really feel like, honestly, the Queen's Court got popular. It was very cute, and it was something that a lot of people were enjoying because of the personal feel. It felt very personal. Y'all sitting in the living room, kiki and having a good time. Maddie works with World of Wonder. She's worked with RuPaul. She's worked, doing all these things. And it's like, you can do both. I really feel like there is a lane for Madison. Now, mama, what are you doing? Settle down. There's a lane for Madison to give us at-home Maddie, where, Miss Mary in the kitchen frying chicken and piddling around, and, Gio is doing his thing, Chi-Chi's doing his thing, like all of that in the background, and cuteness, and, rest in peace, Miss Eve, all of that could have been going on in the background, and we would just be like kicking it with Maddie at the house. Girl, you could have went. Now you're in the street, and I'm not backing up, so we ain't backing up, because somebody pulled up behind me. Anyway, I feel like there was a lane for that, and then a lane for Madison to work with World of Wonder with her Wait a Minute series and her Let Me Pick You Up series, that kind of thing. I feel like there's a duality that could work for Maddie. As far as Khia, I'm not sure what she wants. So I don't know. But what I do know that is that it was very unprofessional last night. And I love Khia. But Khia, you were a little bit wrong last night. Because, again, I've told y'all before, I think of everything from a business aspect. My family is very business-minded, business-oriented. We got several black-owned businesses in this one family. I could name 3 at least off the top of my head, and that's just, the couple folks that I see, like, every day. So, in my family. We're all business people. My great-grandfather is a public figure. He's business-minded. He's been doing business since 1956. So, it's just in my nature to look at things from a business standpoint. And from a business standpoint, y'all set up a show that has sponsors. So you walking out last night on a sponsored show, because every show since, the beginning of the year basically has been a sponsored show. Somebody had paid to have their product shown on this show, and you walked off, and the energies weren't right. Yes, that does affect people like Khia and myself. But when I know I have a business obligation, when I know that people have sponsored tonight's show, and this falls on Khia and Maddie, and Maddie tried. She really tried, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But as far as the business aspect, people paid money for you to talk about their product, and the show didn't go on. So now you have to figure out a way whatever that way may be, to advertise these people's product on the show next week, when there may have already been someone who paid for next week's show. You got to figure that out. I'm not sure how they do their advertisements, but it was just very unprofessional. Now, where it falls back on Maddie and Khia and Gio and everybody else is that I heard that it had been, a technical issue all day. I saw somebody comment that, I don't remember where, it might have been on Twitter, it might have been, I don't know, Periscope. I was looking at everybody's comments, so I don't know. But somebody said this had been a technical issue all day. If your new setup ain't working, try to go back to the old setup. Say, okay, we were having problems with the new, the setup, the studio, the props, all of that. We're not going to do that this week. We just going to sit here in the living room like we used to do and kiki with y'all. And maybe next week, we'll be back in the courtroom. That's where it fell back on Maddie as well, because it's like, I know you want it to be a specific thing. I know y'all want to do your robes and your gavels and your carryings on. I know you do, but honestly, we're not here for the robes and the gavels and all of that. We here for y'all. Would nobody have been mad if you said, well, we just gonna sit back in the living room, set it up like we used to and kiki? Because a lot of people prefer that anyway, and I think that's the problem. I think Madison is so invested in trying to make a beautiful production that when they presented the new courtroom, most everybody was mad. I understood. But a lot of people were upset, and they were like, okay, why are you walking out in the street with your baby? There is a couple that just jutted out in front of a moving vehicle with their stroller, with the baby in the stroller. So if the car wasn't paying attention, you know what? I'm not going to read them. I'm back over here on the Queen's Court. The facts are simply, I think that they didn't fall back on their original setup because Maddie did not want to give people the satisfaction. I feel that way because I'm that type of person. I'm very much the type of girl that's going to be like, well, listen, I've been doing it this way for the longest, and I know people say they want to see it done this way, but I've been doing it like this, and if I can't do it like this, then I'm not going to do it. Simply to not give people the satisfaction. My least favorite thing to do is give people the satisfaction, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. So it just all felt very incorrect last night, or this morning when I watched it. I honestly, they need to go back to the old setup. The one of the main reasons y'all always see me with this flannel, these headphones, this sticking out from under it, this old raggedy steering wheel sitting in this car doing most of my videos, is because that's what works for me. That's what works for me. I do these videos on my way to work, on my way home from work, on my lunch break. That's what works. And a lot of people watch me, or a lot of people are starting to watch me because I feel like they cousin them. This feels like a regular, y'all feel like y'all sitting in my passenger seat with me riding and just having regular conversations. That's what y'all like. If I pop up tomorrow in a studio, sitting in a chair behind the desk, giving y'all this and censoring myself and speaking very clearly and distinctly and giving you all just wonderfulness and how are you today? And these are the facts and this is what's going on in pop culture news. Yeah, I'll be like, girl, what is this? What is this? And that's how a lot of people are feeling about the Queen's Court right now. I'm giving them their time to grow. I'm not going in on them because I understand that we all want to put on nice productions. But I've done YouTube for 5-6 years now, honestly, and my other channel wasn't growing because I was giving y'all a version of me that is whitewashed. Girl, it's whitewashed, and I don't have time for that. You can go over to my other channel, look at them videos, and see that it's just not, that's who I was at the time, and that's how I talked all the time, but that's not who I was at my core. And these videos are from my core. What I'm doing now is from my core, and I feel like that's what it's raining, Jesus, and I ain't got on nobody's umbrella, no hood, nothing. But anyway, girl, it just, all of it was just disjointed. I'm praying for them. But I do think Monique was conniving. I do think Khia was improper. And Madison, I felt her. I felt her pain. I felt trying her best to put something together. And it just didn't come together. And Madison even cried. And I'm like, wow, this is hurting me because I know Maddie's heart. And I feel her on that level where it's like, she don't bother nobody. She don't bother nobody. She a little bit messy, but who ain't? Like, everybody messy. You watching this video now because you messy. No shade. I'm talking about the Queen's Court all the time because I'm messy. No shade. That's just what it is. But I don't know, girl. It just feels, I hope this isn't the end of the Queen's Court. I hope this prompts them to revise, think about the fact that y'all were making big money or decent money sitting in your living room. You don't have to invest in all this stuff because we're not here for all this stuff. We're here to hear y'all talk about it. Whatever, girl. I'm finna go on in here to work. Oh, who am I working with today? I think it's the one I don't feel like working with. I'm almost certain. And now I got to bridle my tongue, Jesus. Hold on. Let me see. It is.